Okay, let's go.
Welcome back to Purple Lipstick on a Pigskin podcast. I'm your quarterback, Shelley. Here in this podcast, we SKOL sisters are fueled by faith, hope, and love. Those are the three things, the three virtues we're going to tie into that big win we had against Detroit. Boy, am I stoked.
Grass more than you, bro. This is right. You're gonna throw
I'm still stoked. That was my word of the day. I hope that the Vikings are stoked as well, because we're moving on up in the division. We're now 4-4 in our division, which is tough. We beat the Lions at Ford Field, which we haven't done. I believe it's like 5 years, since 2000. JJ McCarthy comes back in big day. I mean, so many things were fabulous. Defense stole the show, right? 2-0 in the division, and we're about to meet the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson this Sunday. So let's talk about each. Faith. There were a lot of naysayers out there. No one across the board thought we had a chance. Nobody was picking the Vikes, right? Faith. Faith is a lot of times you can't see it, right? Until it happens. Now, in my heart, I had the faith. I have to say I had a little bit of fear, especially that first drive where they went right down the field. Okay? That was a little scary. Hope. Hope never goes away. You should always have hope. So our hope was that the Vikings came out with a victory at the end, and there it was for us all to treasure and cherish. And of course, love is a given, because we always love the Minnesota Vikings and our passion for the team. We don't lose that love, even though it gets tough at times. It's always there. I also want, hopefully, you watched my last podcast, the Halloween version, because I think the Halloween spirit of what I talked about in 3 different trick-or-treat areas came true. So it was either the Halloween spirit or it was my Viking knowledge. I talked about the defense and B-flow. We had to get some sacks. We had to get some sacks and not let Goff get into a rhythm. And we did. 5 sacks in the day. Half the time, Goff didn't even know what we were doing. It was such a switch, like a light switch, from the defense, the game against LA, to what happened at the Lions. Let's keep it going, B-flow. My other trick-or-treat I mentioned was JJ McCarthy. Said he's going to get 35 yards rushing and a rushing TD. What happened? He got a big rushing TD. Not quite that many yards rushing, but we'll take the rushing TD anytime. And his mobility and his athleticism to move out of the pocket. That happened. The other, I said, KOC, you got to treat us to a better design in offensive calls. And what happened? Establish the run. And they did right out of the gate. Aaron Jones had 78 yards rushing, and Mason had 36, so combined over 100 yards. The other good thing, throwing out of the backfield to Aaron Jones a couple times, and then Yak. He had those yards after catch, which are so important in the NFL, those Yak yards. Nice play to Hawkinson in the end zone for a TD. Okay, and then KOC, what great faith in your young quarterback coming on in that big environment. 3rd and 5, just a couple minutes left in the game. 3rd and 5. We need to get it to seal the game, and what happens? He throws to Naylor, and he nailed it. J.J. McCarthy nailed it, and Naylor made a great catch. Game over. When we placed the Ravens and Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Because even though the Ravens are 3-5, and believe it or not, second in the AFC North, second, and they're 3-5. But you look at their stats, and like I got some here for you. In the NFL, they're sixth in rushing yards, 135.5. Okay? First in rushing yards per rush at 5.8. On the defensive side, for the Ravens, they're first in the NFL in two areas. They're first in yards per game at only 80.9, and they're first in against the rush and holding teams to only 3.6 yards per rush. First in the NFL. So what does that tell you? Defense, let's go. Let's go, B-Flow. Whatever you did in Detroit, whatever energy happened, I think a lot of that was McCarthy coming back. And Van Ginkel was back, made a huge difference. And we had Darisaw and O'Neal. Here we go. I'm so excited, SKOL Sistas, to introduce the GOAT, that Hall of Famer of tailgating. Not only my SKOL Sista, but my soul sister. Let's have some fun with Cheryl. All right, you SKOL Sisters don't know how excited I am to be with HOF Hall of Famer, extraordinary SKOL Sista, Cheryl. Welcome, Cheryl, to Purple Lipstick on a Pigskin podcast.
Oh, hey, Shelly, thanks for having me.
Oh, no doubt. This girl, like I said, HOF, like they say Tom Brady is HOF. And then you got the GOAT behind me, Randy Moss. I think he's the GOAT of wide receivers. This girl is the GOAT and the HOF of tailgating. And we are going to walk down some of the memory lane from when we were down there at the Metrodome. So when I say that, Cheryl, what pops into your head? Like, what's the first thing that pops into your head when I talk about tailgating down at the old Metrodome?
Honestly, the first thing that popped into my head is we are lucky to be alive. We had so much fun, no inhibitions. I mean, it's such a great time. Super
I
memorable.
know. Yeah. And that's why like our mantra at Purple Lipstick is we're fueled by faith, hope, and love. Um, and you see like a lot of, and they talk like in the NFL too, faith, family, football. So when you bring those into like the memories of and going to all the games and all the relationships and people that we built down there partying and having a good time, even with the opponents, you remember the opponents that are parked right next to you. How do you bring in like faith, family, football? How does that all connect like in your life?
I will say, growing up in my house, when I was, a teenager, we always watched football on Sunday afternoons,
Yeah.
watched the Vikings. So it was a family thing from a very young age. And then when I started going with the infamous Addison sisters, I mean, you were my new football family. And I, to this day, think of you as just family and all of the amazing people I got to meet through all of you and Christy and Jody. You just attract fabulous people, and
Oh, fun.
tailgating was a blast. We met so many great friends, and I just really looked forward to it every Sunday.
Yeah, and then we'd go after my loving husband would clean up the tailgating spot. We four SKOL sisters would go to the plaza, remember the old plaza outside the dome, and we'd listen to the band, do some dancing, and so we were kind of lit going into the game. And I mean lit in a good way, and but when you think too of the Vikings and who we got to see play, I found this old magazine. Look at this, the final game at the Metrodome.
Oh,
So
wow.
I have such a little treasured box full of things from over the years. But, I opened a page and we got to see Jared Allen and Randy Moss and Steve Hutchinson, Percy Harvin, Chad Greenway. I mean, I could just keep Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
Any favorite players, Cheryl, that you have, or any memories from a game that you can share?
I have to tell you, well, first of all, two things. I still to this day, I'm wearing my original jersey, my Vikings jersey, but I don't know if you can see it, Shelley.
Ah, Chris Carter,
Chris Carter. I mean, I'm a Chris Carter fan. I've never bought
HOF.
a jersey, but love Chris Carter, but I still have a soft spot for Dante Culpepper. I,
Why?
I don't know why. I liked originally he was pretty good a
Yeah, oh, yeah.
couple of years, and I just loved that he would run a lot with
Yes.
the foot,
Yeah.
so he made to me a real threat, a double threat, so to
Well,
speak. So,
and I think he would have gone even further if he would not have gotten injured, and that's what kind of set him back. And then things kind of trickled from there. But it's fun how you mention he would run because now we have our little young JJ McCarthy, cute quarterback, isn't he? Oh, he's so cute. Um, you know, but he can run.
yeah.
He's got athleticism. He can get out of the pocket. He rushed for another TD against the Lions. Did you watch that game? I'm sure.
Oh yes.
That's gotta go down as one of the best. Beating Detroit. We haven't beat them since what, 2020? Something like that at Ford Field. So,
Right.
and then bringing him in and watching that game was amazing. So,
Yeah. No, I loved it. It was
so
great.
fun. So, do you remember these? We used to drink out of these down at the,
Shelley,
and
I
that's not vodka.
I still have one of those. Do you need
These are our little plastic. A lot of wonderful things went in there. Like I said, that's not vodka, Cheryl. It's okay. It's water. So,
we're gonna pull out, Shelley, when you said we used to drink out of these? Thought you were gonna pull out one of my little infamous Tudors.
oh, you're talking Tudors? That
Tudors.
would be down. Let me see if I can get this one. Look at this big framed piece I have. Look at that of all the
Oh,
tailgating. But
God.
The Tudors are right there.
There's the Tudors. There I am. I
Yeah. So Cheryl, tell the school sisters about the tutors because maybe when they're going down to the game or when they're having celebrations over the holidays watching the games, what's a tutor?
so a Tudor is you can get it at your local liquor store, but they look like a test tube, and then they would have like fun little cocktail shots in them, right? And so I
Yeah.
would four or maybe eight. And then to your point, when we were out on the plaza, right before we go in, I'd pull them out of my cream purse and we would do a cheers
Oh
and
my.
and have a great time. Have a great time.
Yeah, one of the you said a word earlier, infamous. Your tutors are infamous. I remember we had your tutors at a guy in Iowa came on a bus and we were on the plaza. I don't know if you remember that or if you were or you just encouraged us to get some tutors, but he was already tutored up, right? And he came down and somehow we turn around and here he is standing right by us, right? So he wants a tutor. So of course we got to do a tutor with the guy from Iowa who's there, enjoying the game. So he does his tutor and he takes the little tube and he shoots it down the drain pipe down in the like there's a hole like with the drain pipe and all of a sudden we see him over there and he's so I always think of the tutors too and my dude from Iowa he was just a hoot, yeah. So and these books, Cheryl, where's my book? Oh, I got all these books,
Yeah.
you know can you imagine like holy look at it. You should
I,
see all the pictures that are in these books, all the
I
memories that are in. I've got about 8 of them.
yes, I have books. They're
Yeah.
they're
So,
awesome.
You know the funny thing too, tell the school sisters about how much fun we had after the game. So we would tailgate, we'd go to the plaza, we'd go to the game, and especially if the Vikings won, then what would we do? Do you remember?
Uh, well, I do remember a couple of times we would go and continue the partying at a local bar or
The old
restaurant.
Hubies.
The old Hubies. I also remember one time after a particularly fantastic win, we went to Gabe's on the
Oh, and that was dangerous.
we made a lot of new friends that night. So
I,
some guy we didn't know and started eating his pizza. And
yeah. Well, and if the school sisters, if some of you don't know, Gabe's is traditionally a Packer bar. And we would not have gone there if we would not have won. Okay. But we decided to kind of mix it up a little bit and maybe get in the face of a few Packer fans and just celebrate our win. And yes, that was quite the interesting evening. So we've just had so much fun together, Cheryl, over the years. And I mean, these books, if I open them up, they are a little bit dangerous in some areas, but they created the best relationships, the most fun times. And we're going to continue that as we grow and go along. I head down to the tailgates usually when I can. I'm going down this Sunday when we play the Ravens. So tell me a little bit about what you think, like Detroit and the big win. So we're on a high. We're
yeah,
back in the mix. We're 4-4, 2 and
yeah,
0 in the division. So
yeah,
that's spot on, right?
yeah,
We're
yeah.
going to face Lamar Jackson, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Baltimore's been struggling a little bit. So give us your play-by-play of the upcoming Ravens game and what do you think will happen and who will win?
I think, Shelley, honestly, all of our games have been a little too close for comfort.
I
This year,
agree.
I'd love to see a bigger lead and so we can sit back and enjoy a Bloody Mary instead of sitting on the end of our seats. But I think it's going to be close. I do think it's going to be action packed. I loved the game last week because it was a good,
Right,
right, action packed
right.
game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we're going to pull it out, right? I think the win last week really got the team all jazzed up.
Yeah,
And
oh
I
yeah.
I definitely think we're going to win. I think it probably maybe by 3 or 7 points.
Okay. I would agree with that. I think, that is one thing, Viking fans have had to deal with is, man, it always comes down to even last week, it was 3rd and 5, and luckily JJ threw a dime to Naylor and got the first down to end the game, because otherwise we would have had to punt. And oh man, I was like, oh no, please. And oh, Naylor caught that ball. It was beautiful pass and beautiful catch, and that just ended the game. So, but the Viking fans are always hanging on to that last end there where your heart's just
No.
going. So I
Yeah.
agree with you. Get a lead, you know,
Yeah.
get a
Yep.
lead.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, SKOL Sisters, I haven't talked about the purple Uma lately. The purple Uma is the SKOL Sista version of the gritty. So Justin Jefferson's popular end zone dance, the gritty. So ours is the purple Uma. So when the Vikings score a TD, the SKOL Sisters do the purple Uma. Cheryl, have you heard of the purple Uma?
I have not.
Well, we're just starting it this year. Just started the podcast. So I'm going to teach you the purple Uma
All right.
so that on Sunday when we play the Ravens,
Yes.
when we score touchdowns, you can do the purple Uma with whoever you're with.
It
If you're with your husband and you start doing that, he might look at you a little funny, like, Cheryl, what are you doing?
always does, Shelley. As I'm screaming at the TV.
Oh, right. I mean, that's a given. Yeah. So I'm going to teach you the purple Uma. So all you have to do is just back up a little bit so we get you dancing. Okay. All right, you ready? So the purple Uma is basically where first it's the hands in front. You just do a little loose with the hands, and then
Yeah.
you move your chest right toward the camera. Yeah, just like that. Oh, wow. See, you got dance ability. And then you swim. You give it the swim. All right. And my favorite part are the eyes. So you do the eyes. Yeah, just like that. See, that's the purple Uma. Ooh, she's got some dance ability too.
The tailgating, right? I love it.
Yeah, I know. That's where I got to get you down to a tailgate, Cheryl,
Yeah.
and we're going to introduce the purple Uma, and
All
we're going
right.
to get a whole vibe going down there of all the SKOL sisters together, and then we'll go viral.
I love it. I
Should
love
we
it.
do it?
Count me in.
Cheryl, I love everything about you. This is you. You are just personally, too. You're in my heart forever. This is one of the greatest SKOL sisters you'll ever want to meet. So hopefully we'll get her down to a tailgate. You can meet her in person. If you do, though, get ready. We'll bring some tutors and we'll have a good time.
Good. Love you, Shelley. Thanks for having me.
Love you too, Cheryl.
Bye.
See you soon. All right. You can see where she just lights up a room. And that's where, too, you get down and you tailgate, you go to games, you get together at home, you get together at a bar, restaurant, or whatever, family, faith, football. It brings together some really great things. So let's get at it this Sunday against the Ravens. I'm going to be down at the tailgate. I got purple lipstick that I'm giving away to my SKOL sisters that I'm chatting with. So look for me roaming around down there. I'd love to talk with you. Okay. Got a gold box surprise. So I want to get you over to the website, purplelipstickpodcast.com. You're going to predict the score of the Vikings game coming up this Sunday against Baltimore. The closest wins. In my gold box, these surprises. It's a pair of beautiful, gotta bring it up close to you. Beautiful, they're amethyst and citrine. So purple and gold teardrop earrings. So just get to our website, give us your score. We'll be excited, SKOL sisters, to send those beautiful earrings to you so you can put them on and gear up every Sunday when we root on the Vikings. Let's go. Let's put on the real helmet and make the call. SKOL Sista 2025. SKOL Sisters 2025. Still a chance for Super Bowl, girls. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.